warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good evening to my Associate Professor Nurhanina for give the opportunity to me to present the topic of research methodology that I've been working with my fellow friends for past few months. My topic is navigating technology adoption, insight and strategy for the generation X. Okay, for first, this is my table of content. Okay, what is the introduction to the technology adoption among the generation X? As we know, the generation X is in the job market right now. Mostly of them still active or semi-retired. Okay, what bring the generation X to the technology adoption is, one is bridging the work paradigm. I mean, they are the generation, the shifting from the analog to the digital era. And then leadership influence means most of nowadays CEO must be IT literate. Then another part is adoption behavior significance, means most of job market right now is being influenced by the IT. Next, this research methodology being used, the TAM, Technology Acceptance Module, as a theoretical framework. Key component of TAM is the technology. The TAM identify perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use as critical determinants of a technology adoption. This factor helps explain user evaluation of new technology in professional setting. Extension of TAM is, TAM has been expanded to include organizational and experiential factor that influence technology acceptance. Next is the generational dynamic in the digital transformation. Okay, well, in this slide, been compare generation X adoption patterns and digital native adoption patterns. They have the significant slightly difference between them. Okay, generation X evaluates technology based on the practical utility rather than novelty. Meanwhile, digital native, including millennials, Generation Z, have inherent comfort with technology due to their upbringing in the digital environment. As we know, the Generation X have been born between 1965 until 1981. So their era is from the analog era into the digital era. So they rather use for the practicality, not for the necessity. Okay, another next is their adoption decision influenced by perceived efficiency gains relevant to their roles. Compared to the digital native, they are more likely to adopt new technologies quickly, more often motivated by trends and social influence. As we know, right now world's millennial and Generation Z or Gen Z dominates the digital era. Meanwhile, the Generation X slightly have the gaps on uh, their digital world, but most of them are been in the career for a long while. Maybe most of them are semi-retired or nearly to retire. And then the Generation X prefer experiential learning and peer mentoring over traditional training methods. Meanwhile, Generation Millennial or Gen Z embrace the technology change with less appreciation compared to the older generation. Next is Generation X concerns about maintaining professional relevance. Often they are resistant against the new technologies compared to our generation, Gen Z and millennials. We adopt the pattern, the adoption patterns are driven by a desire for connectivity and engagement with digital platform. Okay. Next is key factor influence the adoption of technology. First is perceived usefulness. Second, perceived ease of use. Number 3 is organization support. Next is job relevance. As we know, as we receive from the data we collect, perceived usefulness significantly influence adoption rate with a strong correlation of R is equal to 0.7 to 4. Okay. Then number 2 factor with the correlation of 0.06 to 7, and the organization support based on the correlation of 0.736, and the lastly, job relevance, medical technology adoption behavior influence the resistance to change. In this slide, organizational support mechanism, experiencing learning, peer-based knowledge transfer, and conventional instruction. Okay, experimental learning approach are particularly effective of Generation X. They facilitate hands-on, practical, and real-world application of technology. As we know, they are based on the face-to-face or hand-to-hand skills. And then peer-based technology transfer significantly enhance learning outcome. It means it's utilize colleagues' experience to boost their confidence in using new technology. Okay. Conventional instruction limitation often to fail on engaged Generation X. This approach can lead to frustration and impede effective technology adoption. Okay, Generation X being known as a successor from the baby boomers. So most of them are resistant to technology changes. Okay, why? The first is professional relevance. I mean there'll be fear of being overshadowed by the younger generation. previously I'm working at a call center. I have a managing director. This is still Generation X. He doesn't know to reply an simple email. He rather to call me and then to the reply the email. That's how they resistant to change on the technological changes. And then competency threat. Competency threat ni maybe they feel like they're not competent enough to the digital world. But if they practice or been sharing the knowledge with the younger generation, it might be helps for them. And then next, job security concern. As we know, the new era has become based more like the robotic or artificial intelligence based. I know this job market means they feel job security will be concern for them, because if the company or the job market is bad, they will be the first to lay off due to first the age factor and then the digital competency. Okay. Next is resistant amplifies is concerns about professional relevance, competency threat and job security amplify the resistance. This factor is add on, it will become the psychological barrier to them as a Generation X to adopt the new technologies on the private sector especially. Okay. In this research methodology, we have been used 5 methods. The first is research design. A quantitative research design was employed to investigate the technology adoption among Generation X employees. Then the number 2 methodology is data analysis. Data analysis was performed using SPS, focusing on reliability testing and hypothesis testing. Number 3 is sampling technique. Stratified random sampling method was used to ensure diverse representation across key industries. The method is pilot study confirm until 0.947. And then the last method is data collection. Data collection, we're using a structured 4-item questionnaire distributed via emails and professional networking. As a key finding, we find technology adoption correlation is perceived usefulness strongly correlates with technology adoption. And then the organizational implication enhancing training accuracy is essential for improving technology adoption, especially among the Generation X in the private sector and GLC some. Okay. Practical recommendation for the organization. Okay. First, I will start from the triangle is from the bottom, based the fundamental. The first ethical recommendation for organization, especially in private sector or GLC, is ensure the transparent communication among their employees. Is maintain they maintain to be informed and maintain open dialogue about changes and expectation. Okay, next is tailor training program. Private sector needs training that cater to Generation X learning lifestyle. This we can see as example in the Tenaga Nasional Berhad. They use the reskill program to all generation of their workers to keep update the latest technology or latest issue for the workers. And then the third layer is implement peer monitoring. Means they must as a company or corporation must utilize experienced employees to guide their peers. I mean, in the one department or one sub or one office especially, must be a 1 or 2 person generation from Generation S is update with their IT knowledge. With them, they can monitor mentoring the others. Okay. Next tier is enhanced support system. By establish robust support mechanism to assist employees, it will help the Generation X to adopt the digital era. And lastly, optimize the technology interaction. In the private sector, we must align the technology adoption with the business objective for seamless integration. We talk about all the ecosystem right now is based on the IT or digital base. It must be utilize the integration for future or for business purposes. As conclusion, study enhance the understanding of technology adoption dynamics among the Generation X in Malaysia. But the research limitation is when the study cross-sectional design limits the ability to establish causal relationship among the variables. And then the future research direction is should consider longitudinal design to track technology adoption over time. Means this must be keep improving, keep monitoring, keep being surveillance for future. Okay, this is PESTEL analysis of technology adoption. PESTEL, what is PESTEL? P stand for political, E stand for economics, S for social, T for technological, E for environmental, and L for legal or law. Okay, in political, government policy influence technology adoption in the private sector. Government also must supportive regulation to encourage investment in new technology. In economic sector, economic stability affect the resources availability for the technology investment, and then company are more likely to adopt innovative technology during the growth periods. I mean, if the economy great, company will spend on investment for the IT, for the technology. For the social, generational attitudes towards technology impacts the adoption rates, and then peer monitoring aids transitions to the new technology. For the technological parts, the complexity of new technology can differ or avoid the adoption technology among especially the generation X and above. User-friendly interface encourage the technology update. Means we seen the right now the changes in the digital era. More software or apps is more to user-friendly, towards to user-friendly rather than the functional. We've seen more, especially in banking sector, the apps is more user-friendly nowadays compared to before. As example, Maybank to you before, and then the new apps is MAE by Maybank. It's a different shifting from the more functionality towards to more user-friendly. Okay. Environmental. Sustainability concern influence technology choices in the organization, and then adopting green technology can enhance a company reputation. I mean, we've seen a lot of green techs, especially in the country. If the company implied the green technology will be the reduction of some tax from the government, and then next is for legality or law. Compliance with the data protection law is a critical for technology adoption, and then legal framework can facilitate or hinder the integration of new technology. I mean, we've seen the data protection law recently will be updated in the parliaments to be tightened to be the more surveillance based to avoid the data breach or etc. And SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunity and threats. Okay, for the strength, Generation X employee process significant Generation X employee possess significant professional experience which enhance their ability to evaluate the functionality and efficiency of new technologies. And another strength is their pragmatic approach ensure that technology adoption is based on practical utility rather than novelty. The weakness for them is resistant to change in common among Generation X, often stemming from concern about job security. This cohort may struggle with complex technology, leading to slow adoption rate compared to younger digital native employees. What is the opportunities? Organization can improve technology adoption by offering tailored training programs that align with the Generation X learning preference, and peer monitoring initiative can facilitate knowledge transfer and support, making technology integration smoother for this demographic. What is the threat? rapid technological advancement may exceed Generation X ability to adapt, potentially creating a skill gap. Next is failure to address job security concern during digital transformation could lead to increased resistance and lower adoption rate. For this, we finish my slide. Thank you and very good evening.